I believe that there are only two political distinctions that matter: collectivist or individualist, and regressive versus progressive. Collectivists seek to construct society so as to maximize some abstraction or proxy for welfare that applies to an entire society or social group, whereas individualists seek to construct society so as to maximize some proxy for welfare for individuals strictly. Most of our politics is instinctively collectivist. Governments talk of maximizing GDP growth for entire countries, a policy I believe to be misguided because the link between GDP and welfare has broken down for advanced countries. Regressives seek to construct society in such a manner that the status quo is preserved, whereas progressives seek to construct society in such a manner that the status quo is constantly evolving. Socialism transcends these boundaries. On the one hand, social democrats are instinctively individualists who believe in equal opportunity for all and active measures to attain the goals of gender, sexuality, and racial equality. On the other hand, communists tend to hold regressive views on homosexuals and women and seek to prosecute class warfare rather than maximizing opportunities for individuals. I am of the former persuasion, obviously. Some of my views, such as those on the legalization of narcotics and free speech, are libertarian in nature. Others, such as my firm belief in the merits of universal health and education, are socialist. I believe that social democracy and libertarianism are not only natural allies, they are two sides of the same coin, merely representing a necessary and inevitable debate within the camp of individualist progressives. Libertarians and socialists both tend to start with the presumption that everything should be permitted, and work from there. We both believe in a negative concept of freedom, where freedom to choose is the most important thing. The only difference between us is where we draw the lines to government protection of said freedoms. Libertarians all agree that property rights and the rule of law are essential to enable people to conduct their affairs as they see fit. I would go a few steps further and argue that in order to make unfettered decisions about how they live, everyone needs a basic measure of healthcare and education. This is the socialism I embrace willingly, the socialism that is essentially an affirmation of our interdependency, the fact that my freedom to maximize my welfare is a product of the society I live in, which enables me to do so. Too often, libertarians in the United States assume that those like me who advocate universal healthcare and education do so from some naive position of wishing to create a utopian planned society. Nothing could be further from the truth. We share the same underlying assumptions and the same vision about what is good and bad. More freedoms are good. Our only disagreement is about what role government should play in enabling said freedoms. Religion, on the other hand, represents the opposite of everything libertarians and I stand for. It is collectivist in that it seeks to actively direct people's personal choices to maximize some goal unrelated to actual human welfare, and regressive in the sense that it has always struggled against those who would free slaves and destigmatize gays. Of course there are progressive elements in religious thought, but always timid and almost always driven by secular forces. The debate between socialists and libertarians is a healthy and necessary one, but it should be prosecuted in a spirit of recognizing our common aims and common ground. Religious thought shares none of our values, however, and is the natural enemy of both ideologies.